Yep.
I did click it. We're live.
Woo-hoo. It's Lauren's first time clicking the go live button.
I don't think that's strictly true, but it's at least true for the past couple months.
I'm normally excitable and want to click it first, but I'm eating.
Yeah. I do normally leave it for Hannah because she's Hannah. Guys.
I gotta get my dopamine hits where I can get them. So I know she's coming.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Laura!
I could feel it. We're so excited to have you.
Cool. So I know I have questions from Laura that I'm going to go over. And then I feel like Christina said she was going to send some in. Has she sent those yet?
Not yet, I don't think. I can go look.
Okay. That's okay. I know we have Laura's questions. So maybe I'll just kickstart with those. Yeah? Okay. So Laura, I know you emailed in some questions, and I know Hannah also responded to those already, but I figured I would
do a better job.
I didn't look at what you did, so maybe not.
I think I mostly sent your videos.
Oh, you just sent videos I had? Oh. Sorry, my whole screen went blank and I couldn't see anything. We good. Then that's probably pretty helpful. Because I was thinking of one of them and I was like, I know I just went over this on a video for someone recently. So they might be the same information. But because I've had, okay, yeah, can't find my category pages in the templates. Cool. So let me do that because I've had like 2 other people ask about that, or at least I know one.
Uh-oh, Lauren disconnected. She has this snazzy new camera. I can't remember if she got the pink one or not, but it's like an external device. Look at that.
Am I here?
You're circling.
Okay, so you can hear me, but you just can't see me.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's so weird. All right, I'm gonna let you carry it for a little bit while I figure this out.
Okay, so category pages. You probably just have one basic archive template, and it automatically applies to each of your categories, but you haven't made templates for each of your categories. So I'm gonna log into your site specifically, Laura, and see what I can show you. Please bear with me because I'm never great at presenting. There. Okay. I am. Oh, look at that. Lauren's here. I was about to present in the back end of Laura's site, but you'd probably do it better.
I can if you want. I was basically just going to like chime in, which I know.
Oh, she was going to chime in and then she was like, no, actually, I'm going to run away. Okay. So let's, of course, Laura, we're happy to help. I'm going to share screen. Okay, so I am here in your dashboard and you would go to Appearance Editor to check out your category templates. So the existing templates that you have are what automatically comes with Baked and Branded. And so, can you see? Yeah. You automatically have category archives here, and that's likely what is presenting for each of your categories. But if you want to make a new one, then you're going to click Add New Template and go down to category. It's a single category though, right? Do I click this and then it goes single? Yeah. Okay, and then we'll make one for 30-minute meals. And once you've made this, which I always go ahead and add this pattern. You don't have to, but I like to. And then what you need to do is swap it where it's not purple. Boop, boop, ba-doo. Detach. Is that what I wanted, Lauren? Did I mess that up?
That is what you want if you're planning on changing that section. So sometimes when
not.
we edit the category pages, we only want to add content in. We're not looking at changing that top section. So if
Yeah.
like you didn't need to customize that section, you just wanted to add in that landing content, you wouldn't have to detach it. But then
Okay.
other times, like if the category is called 30-minute meals and you want it to display only here as like 30 minutes, then you might want to actually change that whole section, right? So you can give it like a pretty name just for this page and still have that be the H1. So it does make sense to detach that in some instances.
I don't like what I did there though. Okay,
You have
so
to, yeah, because what you did was you delete, it's like the page title right now. You'd have to add in a new title block, and it wouldn't be a title block, it would be a heading, and you would set it as H1.
hi Melissa. We're excited to
Melissa!
have you. And Lauren, you can take over presenting at any moment. You know I'm slower and fumble with these things. Do we actually have a different starting point for built out category pages? Let me look at that. So I think we do. Boom. Plus browse all patterns, starting points. So yeah, we have a starter category here that's more built out than the archive. So you could really, what do I want to do? Can I just exit out of this whole thing? Undo everything I've done and start over?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay, fine. Is it all
Okay,
stacked?
it is.
Looks,
So
that looks fine. It looks like it.
let me take over. Can I?
Yeah.
Do you want to keep going?
No, go ahead. I knew
Okay.
there was a starting point somewhere that was fun and maybe easy for Laura.
Okay, so because I'm looking in here at like what's going on in here, there's a couple things I wanted to say. And then we are going to get back to where Hannah was, but this is how my brain works. So we're backing up. So sorry. Anytime you see empty template like this, go ahead and delete it. So this one's empty because Hannah was working on it. She could click save if she wanted. If you want to click save, Hannah, you can, and then that'll add the content there. And we can always delete it afterwards. But I'm going to go ahead and delete these ones, category archives for the web story category, just because if there's an empty template, the users could potentially see that, and we don't love that. Same here for all archives. Empty template, I'm just going to delete it. Okay, so whenever there says empty template, not a good thing. So we'll delete those, or we would go in and build them out. But those are probably when, like Laura, you were trying to set things up. And since it's empty, I think it's safe for us to go ahead and delete it. Okay, so for 30-minute meals, I do usually just like recommend, and this is why, Hannah, I kind of cut you off. I apologize when I took over screen sharing, which you did ask me to do. So I'm not a totally horrible person.
You saved me.
But I would insert this first pattern and just click save. And I know that I've mentioned that either in the past or in some of our YouTube videos or we have tutorials. The reason is because I don't want that empty template for like any time at all. Because if someone goes to it, they're seeing a thing. It's just words that say missing template, I think, or something like that. So I don't like that. So I just insert this and I edit from here.
Cool. And then it looked like that starting point completely overrode what was there anyway. So once I inserted the starting point.
And another reason, though, that I click on that initial template is because this starting point doesn't have a header or footer. And so if you create a page without a header and footer, it's pretty hard for people to navigate. You're missing content you probably expected to be there. And then like re-adding that header and footer is not super easy because like the site assumes that you already have it in your template. So if I click on add category, this, in my case, it's adding it underneath. For you, Hannah, like based on what you had selected, maybe it replaced it. It's adding it underneath, but at least it's doing it like where there's still a header. And if I scroll down, there's still a footer. So that's really what I want to make sure, because I've definitely seen people that have like this category page and it starts right here. Like this is where their page starts and there's no site header or anything. So that's a couple of things I would be careful to watch out for is insert this initial template and then go into your starting patterns and go ahead and add in either all these blocks by using a starting point or individually putting in the blocks you want. And so from here, I could delete these two So I just deleted those, and then it starts here, and this one's completely custom. Remember that we made this partially like custom so we could have this image here. But like, just like you had before, if you didn't want to write in a custom title every time, you could go in and trying really hard to delete this, but it does not want me to delete. Give it this title here, and this would pull in automatically. So just like you can change things out however you need to. You can insert blocks in, but like my main takeaway is usually know how to add the template. And I'll go back and demo that again in a second. And then 2, make sure you're adding in first like that initial pattern, then the pop-up, and then editing from there so that you have an actual built-out page.
Okay, so
Hannah, I'm looking at you. Yeah, I'm looking at you like you have questions. Let's go.
Okay, so Melissa asked first, is there a way to duplicate the template so we can make a secondary version? And that's going to be similar to duplicating any blocker pattern, right?
Is there a way to duplicate the template so we can make a secondary version? It depends, Melissa, on, well, yes, obviously. Hannah gets so mad when I say no. So the answer is
She's
yes.
a developer, and she has 14 questions before she can get to the yes. However, I always need you to start with the yes.
Yes.
You're trained.
It depends on what you're wanting to duplicate. So let me show you. I'm going to delete this category 30-minute meals and delete this. And then we're going to kind of restart. Okay, so I can see a couple here that Melissa, your question first. First of all, when you click on add new template, I said I was going to show you guys this again. When you're creating a new category template, that's how you're going to do it, is in here. And then as Hannah said, these things kind of like load weird. So sometimes you have to scroll and sometimes you don't. But here we have category archives, and then you'll select the individual item you want. Sometimes it'll have a box that says like, do you want to set all categories or an individual category?
Yeah.
Individual category, and then 30-minute meals. And it still exists in my browser. Let me delete this.
Well, actually, we could jump into the second one with this particular presentation because Laura says it's not actually a question, but I'm perceiving it as a question. I couldn't edit the app landing page this morning. So appetizers?
I think they're different. So I want to show Melissa this pop-up right here. If you're wanting to duplicate this piece, then the only way to do that is through theme code. So this part, you wouldn't duplicate very easily in this particular pop-up. And that's just like, presumably it will be in WordPress core in the future that you can add patterns into this pop-up, but right now it can only be done programmatically. So at this step, you'd always insert this and then just like go ahead and click save so people aren't seeing empty template. However, once you get into these starting points, you could create as many of these as you wanted so that, yes, if you had like a template you used for recipes and a template you used for crafts, you had 2 different starting points that you could work with. And so the way you would do that is you'd create, I'm going to insert this, but let's say that you've modified this. Let's say the difference is just that you want these sections reversed, right? Then I would select all of these, and then I would say that I want to create a pattern.
And now it's a crafts category or whatever.
Yeah, you can name it whatever you want. Go ahead and throw it in the starting point so it's easy for you to find. And then make sure that you turn off synced. Once you add it here, which I won't do on Laura's site, once you add it there, when you come into patterns and you go to starting points, it will show up with these as well now. So that's what I would say. If you want to make a secondary version of templates, use those starting point.
Yeah.
Like pattern group and create your own patterns, but put them in there just so it's easy for you to find.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to delete this one and we'll go look at appetizers. Delete this one again. The website is like, why do they keep creating and deleting this? Okay, Laura, so you said you couldn't edit the appetizer landing page this morning. So there's a couple things that I think could be going on. One is maybe just like when you were in here, you couldn't actually use this editor for some reason. And so if that's the case, what I would recommend is like clearing your cookies on your browser or like trying incognito and seeing if it works. So if you weren't able to like actually come in here and like insert new blocks or anything like that, that would be my first step. If you were trying to make a change in here, like let's say you wanted to change the name of appetizer and snacks to something else, and like Hannah did, we click detach, and then you're like, okay, I want to change this to something, and I'm going to delete this, and then it goes away. If something like that is happening, it's because the title, the block that's being used there is an archive title block, so it pulls that information automatically. And if you want to do something manual, which is usually what we want to do, we would have to go in and insert a heading block, new title, totally custom, set that to an H1, and delete the other.
You enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, I know. I'm so creative. So there are times where it seems like you can't edit it because you're expecting it to be edited on the front end, but it's actually pulling from information on a different page, which is pretty confusing. And that would be the same here for these breadcrumbs. Oh, I hate that. These breadcrumbs, they're not editable. They pull from the plugin. This term description, it pulls from the category edit page where you wrote a description for the category. And no, that's probably, I'll leave that there. I was going to get too technical. I'll stop. So Laura, let me know if any of those made sense or like helped, or if there's something else happening that maybe I'm not thinking about and addressing. I forgot Hannah, are you in pain listening to me?
No, I'm actually so distracted. There's a bug. I don't know if I'm sure you didn't notice earlier, but I had my plate swatting a wasp away from me. I have to sit outside to not get distracted by my monitor, but today I'm distracted by bugs. So doing great. Oh, he's back. And he's terrible. Ah!
Yeah, I can't tell at all.
That's good. Great, great, great. I don't know why. Maybe it's my colorful shirt. I look
okay, like so far I don't see any new questions from Melissa or Laura.
Nope.
So should I read through the other questions?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to figure out how to, what was it, the title that went to 2 lines? She was asking about. On my live page, the S on the word appetizers is on the next line. So
cool.
My troubleshooting process is likely different than Lauren's.
I see. Okay. Okay, so we're going to appetizers. Appetizers and snacks.
Your little song is always fun for me.
I can't make it happen. Okay, let's say it's this.
Yes.
I don't think it should look like this. Like when we designed it on the demo site, it doesn't have this gap over here, right?
I'm going to look at the screenshot she submitted.
It does have this gap over here. Okay. So can I talk out loud, or do I have to like provide a well-worded answer?
Verbally process. We're here for it.
Okay, cool. So one thing I was thinking is if we got rid of, like not removed this, but somehow changed how this was laid out so that there's not this gap here and this title was automatically full width, then that would give us more room for longer words. The alternative, of course, is that we give it a shorter name only on this page, or even that we decrease the font size maybe only on this page. So all of those would be options. I think the easiest thing to do right now, like on this live, would be for me to show 2 ways that I could just change this one page rather than looking at like, how do I change this layout completely so that there's not this gap here?
Yeah. My first line of defense was, I think, making the font smaller.
Yeah.
And then maybe playing with margin and padding if I could. But I didn't look at it the same way that you did.
Okay, so I'm just reverting this. This right here is what's live right now. And so what Laura already did was she made this an individual template. And because this is detached, this isn't connected to all of the other areas, I can now make changes to just this one category page in order to just make this one sit on the same line. So there's lots of things I could do, but the easiest I think would probably be to come in here and literally just make the font size smaller. I'm not sure what it is right now, so I'm just going to pick a size and then we'll go from there. Okay, so that was already much smaller. Okay, so this had a custom font size. So for this, I could set it to extra, extra large. It's already smaller than what it was before. I'm going to go ahead and click save on this because it's really easy for me to revert. But now it's smaller only on this page. If you went to another category, oh, I love that for me. Hold on. Here we go.
If you're OCD and going to cross-reference the two versus looking for the simple solution to the one problem, then you're going to notice. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, no. If you're looking at the two, you can basically see like this still has that larger text.
Yeah.
So if you didn't want that smaller text everywhere, you just have it here and it's like a quick fix.
Yeah.
Without having to make a change all throughout your site. So I feel like if you're kind of like, I really like how it looks, then now you can keep it how it looks. If you don't like the smaller text, there are other things you could do. We could add in another title here, and then we could just do like apps and snacks. And I would make this a heading, H1, delete this one, save. And then now the text is larger. It's like the size you would expect, but we gave it a custom title just for this one area. Hannah hates it. Her smile says, Lauren, you're doing too much.
I feel as though the full word is better with a smaller font. However, it's not my site, so I'm trying to not insert my opinions on someone else's site's verbiage.
I just like it because kombucha has been delivered.
Ooh.
So exciting.
Wednesday kombucha for Lauren.
I was like, do we have any kombucha at the office?
You guys, she curled her hair just for this live, and now it's in a ponytail.
And then I pulled it. I thought it looked silly. I can't get over it.
It looks so good too. Okay, Laura prefers the full word. Boom, Soul Sisters.
Wait, can I provide another option?
Yes.
This is great documentation.
Yes.
There are so many ways you could solve this. It's so nice.
Great.
It's like I could literally also just remove this image.
Yeah.
And so on this one page, there wouldn't be that image. And so this would be full width.
Nice.
I feel like what I really want to do is look at Creator or Baked and Branded and improve that for everyone for future uses. Like that would be my preferred, is to have this be full width, but.
And Lauren's not allowed to touch any of the features in Baked and Branded until Feature Fest, so.
Oh. We'll see.
No improvements for 2 weeks. Can she do it?
We'll see. To be fair, I'm pretty sure I have some stuff waiting to get pushed live for test that's been tested and stuff. So fine. I think those should be allowed.
Sure. You live for a loophole.
I do. Okay, those are all different ways to do it. Laura, I was going to delete this page, but I guess you could delete it. So if you don't like any of the changes I've made so far, you could delete this template and recreate it and then make whatever changes you want. But I guess I could leave it because technically it works right now.
Yeah.
Okay. That was question 1 and question 2. What about question 3?
Is there a question 3?
Oh, the color palette.
Yeah. Okay. It was specifically how to insert her hex code
Mm-hmm.
into site colors. So I'm sure you're so surprised to hear what my answer was. You just keep clicking, Laura. If you keep clicking, it appears. Click, 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 click.
Yeah, exactly. You just click around. The more you click, the better you are.
The
So
faster you click, the better you are.
just to put it on the video for everyone, because I feel like these are good questions if they're coming up,
Yes.
is when you're in the editor, literally any page, but like the site, well, maybe not literally any page. You need to be an actual, like a template editor. You'll see this circle up here. Should be at the top circle, not inside of a block, but like site-wide.
Yeah.
Styles, colors, palette. I like to go into show details so I can see them all like this because I'm super extra. And then when you click on the circle, you see the hex here. And you can define it different ways, but I use hex for everything.
Just keep clicking. Just keep clicking. Yes, I am Dory on Finding Nemo.
Clicking. What do? We click, click, click. Okay, did you guys watch Finding Nemo recently?
No, that's just where my brain is.
I watched it recently.
It's been years.
Love that movie.
It's a good one. Yeah, that's how I feel when I'm looking for things in Creator. I'm just eventually it's gonna pop up.
That's how I feel sometimes too, guys.
Yeah.
Like that's the block editor. Sometimes things change and then they like unchange. Like I'm pretty sure. No, I shouldn't say that yet because I'm not sure if it's true. But sometimes things change and then they unchange. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Then we make
Yeah.
whole announcements and videos.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And it doesn't work that way anymore. Yeah. All right, Melissa, did you come in with Melissa, did you come with any other questions today?
Melissa already came locked and loaded.
Any
But
other questions today?
yes.
Laura, did you come with any other questions? I have answers.
We hope. Oh, yes.
Yes, Melissa has questions. Okay, cool. Well, while we wait, I'm going to tell you guys that we're doing another Feature Fest. If you're excited, join us for it.
Yes.
We're focusing this one specifically on like workflow enhancements and specifically like working with a team. So this one will go over a lot of the stuff that we did last time, but instead of building a template, we'll be like building a workflow.
Yeah. All right. Melissa's question is in.
Oh, that's
Recipe
so
template for WPRM. I see that there's an option with the theme, but it seems to only display in mobile.
I don't know the answer to this one.
She'll go find it, guys. Don't worry. Just keep clicking. Just keep clicking. So Feature Fest, I think one of the things that we talked about was if you don't have a team and like you're the full team, you're still figuring out like what your next best move is. It's a crash course on how to handle your site, really. Did you show this or did I show this? It would appear that I showed this. Good.
I definitely did it because I was trying to like click the link and I can't. I can only click show. So then I had to freaking type it in. It's been awful.
It's like, I am talking. I don't think I clicked anything. I can't do both. This is why I struggle.
Okay. Let me screen share this.
Oh, you wanted to see me so big. Hello.
Got it.
Okay, cool.
Got it. Okie dokie. So this is what it looks like on desktop, which is not right. And this is what it looks like on mobile, which is correct. But I think it's got to be something on your back end, like caching or something with critical CSS. I'm not really sure. If you're running WP Recipe Maker, try turning that off, or Lightspeed Cache or any sort of optimization plugin. Try turning that off and seeing if this works again, because this definitely should work on the front end or on desktop. Let me see if I can figure this out. The only reason that reasons that CSS doesn't work, so this should be styled everywhere. Reasons it wouldn't work is usually going to be like critical CSS. So that's a plugin that's like removing some of the CSS from your site. And therefore, like, things won't look the way they're supposed to because that tool thought that code didn't matter, and it does. So critical CSS is normally a big one. Another would be if you have an error in your code somewhere. So like if you added custom CSS into the additional CSS field in your like editors, I don't have the words for it today, but there's an error somewhere in there. So like maybe you forgot a closing bracket. That would also potentially cause all CSS after that non-closing bracket to like not work. So that'd be another reason. Sometimes when CSS is like compressed, something happens and a error like a missing closing bracket is introduced in that. So those would be reasons. I'm going to see if I can figure out why, but I don't think I have a login for this one, right? I must not, because I don't have it. I do. Let's see if it works. No, this is probably like some login from a million years ago. Don't know if that's true or not, but so I can't look and see, but let me see if I can figure out like where this code is.
I feel like, Melissa, I'm not sure if you're a designer or a developer or what you are, but I know that the websites that you launch are so stinking pretty and professional that she's saying okay, and she's already figured out whatever it was that you're saying. Okay. Yeah, send us a login for sure. Uh-oh. Lauren sees code things that make sense to her and not gibberish.
Maybe.
What could it be? Designer wannabe? Yeah, I am also a designer wannabe, but mine don't look as good as yours. Lauren's cringing because she knows it's true.
I feel like we're all designer wannabes at many points.
No doubt. We have a secure signature in our email. It's got one time in it. Let me send you an email real quick, Melissa.
I'm wondering basically if I can see that this was a duplicated template, if maybe my template code didn't have something in it that like didn't get translated correctly. So like this is saying like snippet, summary actions. Yeah, I'm just not sure. Creator recipe container. Does it have that in here? Creator recipe container. Yeah. But then the title of this is Creator Recipe 001. However, some of this code says Creator Recipe Sum1. Where was that at? Yeah, Recipe Template -Sum1. And I think it should be Creator Recipe 001. Which I don't think I can edit this because of where it's at. So I think it has something to do with that. I'm just not sure where that's being introduced from. But essentially, I think some of this code is not targeting the correct class. And that could be either that the template itself has something that's in, like the code that I wrote has something that isn't getting duplicated correctly, or maybe that when it was duplicated, something went wrong in the plugin. I'm not really sure on this.
Are
But
you
if I had a
having
login, I could look and see like what does the code look like? What are the classes? It is a
Okay.
weird. The wasp is back. It is a weird case that's showing up here.
Do you have the same problem on, don't you also have just another cocktail blog? Did the recipe template mess up there? And yeah, I sent you an email, so send us your login and Lauren can totally sleuth this out. Nancy Drew style.
Well, then I'll have your login so next time you come to a live, we can do it on the call, which I do really like. I feel like it's really helpful for people to see.
I mean, it's so valuable. Think of all the times I spent billing people for 15 minutes of development time. And now we're like, oh, we're here. It's an hour. Show up. Give us your questions and we'll make magic happen. Like, that is so gratifying to think of. I don't know. All the fun things that we've grown into over the years. Still using your old template on that website. Okay, that makes sense. So just another cocktail blog is using a different recipe maker template.
Yeah. And when I've used this, like this particular template in the past, I've always used it as is. I haven't cloned it. So that's why I'm wondering maybe something about when it's getting cloned isn't updating the classes as it's supposed to. Or that I'm adding code somewhere. I don't really know.
I really want to say something along the lines of that makes sense, but it actually doesn't.
All right. Well, it makes sense to me.
Yes, I know. I'm so grateful for you. Okay, that was a good question. Should we dance and wait for more? Am I stalking the inbox for Melissa's login? Nothing
Nah,
yet.
she said later. Or no, she
Okay.
didn't say later. She just said though. But I don't want her to feel rushed.
Don't want to pressure anyone.
Yeah, I don't want to pressure anyone. Except for when it comes to oh look, she did make a login.
So nice. Thank you.
Yay, I found it.
Oh, good.
Okay, let me set this up.
I can't remember my own login password. We have one password for that reason. And I still mess it up. But one password is Bay. Handles all things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm deleting Melissa's other logins and updating. Uh-oh. It didn't save the password. It's fine. It's fine. I have it. I'm going to go find it. It's totally fine, guys.
It's all fine. How salty would you be at me if I did it?
Hannah!
I do it all the time, guys. She's salty because that's why I didn't jump on this password. I was like, Lauren will do it faster and better, and I'll probably just save it wrong.
Oh my goodness.
So sad, but so true.
It's not saved in either of these. I'm going to have to reset it. It's totally fine though, because we can reset it. But I do love that for us. Yesterday we had a meeting and I said something, what did we decide? And Hannah said, we did not decide anything. You decided. And I am not exaggerating, guys. She was so salty.
I had a plan and a dream. And she swapped my Feature Fest agenda days. And I just really thought that people would want to come in Monday trying to fix their workflow. And Lauren's like, but it's actually boring. So we're going to fix the workflow on Friday. And I Didn't get over it, did I? I still have a grudge, apparently. Like, we're covering so many good things in that agenda, but it was something about the reordering of it and then the trying to find, words to describe the agenda that really had us butting heads.
Yeah.
It was one of our better meetings for sure. At one point, she was like, I just need 5 minutes.
I'm just going to need a 5-minute break, guys.
I thought she was done with me. I completely logged off. I was like, okay, bye.
She did.
June 2nd through the 13th. So it'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are our training sessions for those 2 weeks. And then the same time as we do our normal Wednesday lives. So Wednesdays will be available for free. I'm supposed to announce pre-order tickets, yesterday. So today, and it'll be $39 for 2 people to attend. And that's including those Monday and Friday paid trainings. And we'll also, have we finalized the templates that we're going to push out? I have this whole list of things that Lauren also needs to make for all of our baked and branded users during Feature Fest. And I will try to not share exactly what those are because I believe that's another agenda that we didn't finalize in yesterday's meeting due to Lauren and Hannah. But it's going to be good stuff. Crash course on all of the things. Lots of daily deals. So last Feature Fest, we offered things at a discount. This time we're going to do plugins and the theme at a discount. Ooh, Lauren is thinking. She's thinking hard.
Okay, I'm sharing my entire screen and all its messiness. So basically, Melissa, I thought you had cloned that template because of the CSS I was looking at, but I can see right here that it's set to just be creator recipe 001. Like this is the default template. It's not a cloned one that you made. So this is what I was thinking. It was one of these. So what I'm doing is I'm looking in the repository, like in my code side of things now to see if there's something that got messed up in the code, which is why I'm just sharing my whole screen because now you're seeing my whole messy workflow. But it was like someone. So I don't think templates, recipe 01, the CSS. So this is really, what an interesting side quest we're on. I don't know what's happening right now, but we're going to double check some things. So first of all, I want to check your plugins and just see what's happening here. See if there's anything that would cause it to be missing CSS. Then we're probably going to check snippets to see if there's any like additional CSS somewhere that could be making it weird. And then after that, I'm really not sure what we're going to do. Maybe we'll just run all updates and see if that helps.
Lauren, did you mute me because I was typing too loud, or did I mute myself to be respectful?
You definitely muted yourself.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure that I'm allowed to be talking right now.
Yeah, I did not do that. I did notice you were quiet, though.
I was talking to you, and I was like, I'm not getting any responses.
No.
It was just noises.
I didn't hear you.
We've got a great side quest going here. It's going to be wonderful.
Okay, so nothing weird in here, but let me check code snippets, and then let me also check WP Recipe Maker settings. No code snippets are active. We do have another snippets plugin, so let me check this one. Would not expect this to do anything. From the title, no CSS. Let's check in here, no CSS. And then in here, custom style, no custom styles. So weird. Hold, this is the recipe. So we're gonna go back here. Now that I'm logged in, let me see if anything looks different. I don't expect it to. Nope. All right, so we're going to do something else. I'm going to start deleting code to see if that makes any difference. So all my CSS is probably up here in this head tag for the most part. I'm just going to start deleting things. So this would tell me if there's CSS that's overwriting something. Where did it go? Here. That's causing it not to display, rather than missing CSS. That's all the styles right there. Core block, inline, global styles, inline. Interesting. Why is some of that being inlined?
As riveting as this is, I'm trying to finish up the Feature Fest landing page so that I can share with everyone before the end of this live. Also, I've been telling myself all day I'm going to do that, so I'm trying to not type really aggressively at you guys. How is your sleuthing going, Nancy?
It's going great, thanks. All I've learned so far is that we're definitely missing CSS. It's not that something's overwriting it. I'm going to check the bottom of the body tag, but I'm pretty sure it's all going to be fine. At this point, I've deleted so much I wouldn't really expect anything to work. All right, cool. So we're going to refresh. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to test that the CSS that's inside of Creator Recipe, like right here, if I add that, does the recipe suddenly look correct on desktop? Where are we at? Okay, so if I add it in to a new style sheet, why can't I copy, paste? Cannot paste. Why? I can't edit this at all. There's got to be something weird with this site. All right, sorry, I stopped screen sharing because I wasn't sure if I ran out of internet since it's not loading for me anymore. And then I'll just share that window again so you guys don't have to see my whole mess. Okay, so this loaded. I'm gonna see, I don't know why it's not letting me add CSS. I'm waiting for the little circle over here to be happy.
The circle to be happy. That is something I would say.
Well, like now there's just stuff that's not loading for me. And I don't really understand why. Okay, I logged out hoping that having a cached website would work for me. But there's something preventing me from editing. I've never come across this before. Melissa, this is actually a first for me. Anywhere else? I think it's whatever that star is preventing me from editing because I don't normally see. Oh, good. It's some sort of Chrome update, potentially.
Huh.
I just asked Jim. Sorry, I shouldn't have clicked on Reddit, guys. I love Reddit comments so much.
Oh. Could it be the staging site itself or something with my host?
I don't think so based on this Google. I think something with Chrome because these are all from like 2 days ago. And I basically just got back into the office today. So it could be that this has been happening for a week-ish. I love that for me. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this in my day-to-day life. It also means that in this moment, I don't know how to fix this for you because I don't know how to troubleshoot it. Maybe we try Safari. This is not my, we're out of my comfort zone now.
You got this, boo. I believe in you.
Share screen. Safari. Look at this. I don't even know how to open. How do I use this? Cool. Maybe I need to turn on developer tools on this device. I don't remember how I did that previously. Isn't this fun, guys?
So fun.
Show features for developers. Inspect element. How do I add new code? Beautiful. Copy, paste. CSS, copy, paste. All right. We have learned one thing. I don't know what it does for us yet. We have learned that it's definitely missing code.
Okay.
I don't know how or why. That would be my next step. We'll look into that. I know we only have a few minutes left, but I will stay and do this if you guys want. If you guys need to go and you're not interested, I will not be offended. Or if you're like, I'll just watch it later, like it's fine. But I will just do a little bit more on this to figure it out until I get too overwhelmed. We're going to go back to Chrome unless we need this. Oh, I'm already screen sharing. We're going to have to just figure it out. So I'm going to stop screen sharing this. Screen share Chrome. Sorry, it's what I'm better at. Okay, so we're back over here. And I'm going to try some other things. Melissa, oops. If you don't mind, will you tell me who your host is? I don't know if that'll answer anything for me, but okay, so Melissa says she has a question.
Boop, 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 boop.
How do we edit the call to action in the template? Ooh, I can answer this one.
And her host is WP Opt.
Okay, cool. WP Opt. They might have caching in place. So it could be worth let me show you. Hold on. First, let's answer the question about the template. So WP Recipe Maker template editor, you can also get to this from the settings page. You'll come in here and you're going to go as if you're going to edit this theme one, but it won't let you edit it directly. It's going to say clone and edit, which is fine. You can do that. Creator, Lauren. And then from inside of here, this is the call to action right here. I don't think I used this. Let's see. Jump to comments, email share. Okay, so this is partially editable, but might be a little challenging. Basically, it's going to be pretty easy for you to edit out this text here. So I went to edit blocks, and then I can change the header and the text. And then if you want to change out like the text of these buttons or add different buttons, you can also edit those through edit blocks. So you can see I've got text share, email share, jump to comments. But this is in like a little secret container. So if you need to, and this is a little advanced, I'm aware, in this edit HTML, these are the blocks here inside of the like create a recipe footer and then create a recipe buttons. So you would need your buttons to be nested and like your text to be nested correctly in that area in order to be styled the way that you would expect it to be. But as far as like just editing the text, that's all going to be done in this edit blocks. It's only if you change out the blocks that it gets a little bit iffy. But here inside of edit blocks is mostly where you're going to come to edit this CTA. And then same here for this last step. That is a call to action, this call to action. And it's got all your text in here. Okay, that was one thing. The other was, what was the other question? Just my troubleshooting? Hold on, let me look. Oh, I was going to show you WP Opt. I wanted to show you real quick in here. Yeah, see, Melissa knew. We're going to go into Easy Chicken because I've been working in that one most recently. So inside of Easy Chicken, staging, clear cache, clear all cache. So that could be worth doing because this Cloudflare cache is what will, like, depending on the settings for that Cloudflare caching will be caching like your HTML and your CSS. So this is, I would come in and I'd probably just clear everything, but at the very least, it's probably this Cloudflare cache that you would clear and double check if it's that. Otherwise, what I would do is I would come in here and I would update everything, and then I would start deactivating things, which is pretty painless. I guess I feel like maybe I shouldn't do that because I don't have permission from you, Melissa. But literally my first step would be to come in here after I guess I cleared WP Opt caching. I would come in here, I would update WordPress to the latest. I would double check these activations. I would go ahead and activate them here. You can always, like from your Freemius dashboard, you can deactivate and like move licenses. So I would double check this, and then I would run all of the like plugin updates too. So basically any notice that's like update or license or whatever, I would go fix all of that and see if that helps. Okay, we're gonna wait for Melissa to clear her cache and see if that helps. Hannah, did you get your shirt at Goodwill?
Yes, I did.
Of course you did. I really was just thinking, like, who buys a Vera Bradley shirt?
Okay, it's a Seaside Half Marathon shirt, actually. And the real question is who buys a shirt for a race that they didn't run? And I want you to know I've never ran the Seaside Half Marathon, but I've worked it quite a few times. I was not, however, working it in 2015 when this very cute shirt was made. It's white, and it is like a dry fit. And I'm going to stop talking. Yeah, I got a Goodwill Vera Bradley shirt.
Love it. Okay, Melissa totally caught my error that I did not realize at all. Because she said WP Opt, I just heard like WPO, which is the Big Scoots thing. WP Opt should not have this caching thing. Hold.
Sorry, guys. I'm still working on the Feature Fest page, obviously.
Someone might have caught that.
I could have watched. Thanks, Melissa.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if this will just like magically work or not because Charles normally sets this up, but he does have Cloudflare caching set up for some of my clients, and he normally installs a Cloudflare plugin, and then it like you can clear from that. So we're just going to see if that like magically works or if it requires some sort of configuration, which I feel like it's going to require configuration, but
The girl can dream.
yeah, I don't know if his like staging sites are automatically connected to Cloudflare or not. I don't know how this plugin works. Yeah, she says she doesn't think it's on the staging site. Okay, I'm gonna check this real quick, Melissa, but then can I update everything on your site?
Casual.
Yeah, okay. It says, no, you need to log in, you dum-dum. That seems fair. This seems fair and what I would expect, and I don't have the login for this. But you're probably right that Charles probably doesn't have Cloudflare automatically on this. Okay, we're gonna update everything.
Oh. I'm looking at something and I'm like, oh, Lauren is going to need a lot of padding here. What was I thinking?
Oh, when you're editing the site, yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
I'm emailing you about Future Fest. I want you to be there.
Okay, we've got WordPress updated. We're going back. We're updating all of these plugins. I'm going to license this on your site. Creator. Copy. This is going to take a minute. And then I'm going to license these, and we're just going to go to the front end of your site and hope that it's magically fixed. Because if it's not, we have to start deactivating plugins, which is fine. Hannah, you know I normally like edit descriptions so that they literally end with the same number of lines. Are you going to do that too?
For what?
You know, if there's like 3 columns, each of the columns needs to have the same number of lines of text so they're all perfectly aligned.
Baby girl.
Baby girl.
You can absolutely do that in your own time.
Noted, noted. I don't think this one will work. Yeah.
But I am about to share this page with everyone, and you can.
I don't have a baked and branded license. We'll at least license creator then. All right, what do you think? Will it magically work for me?
Are you asking me or Melissa? That is so cute. Oh my gosh.
It didn't magically work.
Shocker. You don't have the mommy magic. Reagan gets so frustrated when I say I have mommy magic.
Okay, so next step is we're going to deactivate like all of these plugins almost, except for WP Recipe Maker. They're going to be under a new little section up here that says recently deactivated, so we can activate them all again without like any problem. I'm just double checking if there's anything else I need to leave active to make sure this works. Okay. And still nothing. All right, so in this case, Melissa, what I would do is I would email your host and see if there is anything caching related that might be on this site. Because it should work. If the CSS is loading, it does work. For whatever reason, it's not showing up here, but it shouldn't be related to any plugins because we've deactivated that. So I think my next recommended step would be to email Charles and see, is there something weird going on? What I don't really understand is why it's working on mobile and not desktop. Oh, you know what I haven't checked is if we have any additional CSS in here. I'm going to remove this real quick. So Command X, I'm copying it. It will be there. We can put it back in. But I'm going to remove that. Nothing. So sad. All right, my next step would be to check in with Charles. I'm going to put your stuff back the way I found it now. Save the custom styles. I'm going to reactivate all of your recently active plugins. I don't know why that is. Melissa, feel free to CC me on it. Or just like forward me whatever Charles says, and I'll look into it again. Sometimes if I take a break and I come back to it, I remember something clever. So just let me know. But unfortunately, now we're coming to the end of this and I haven't answered it, which is so disappointing for me. Can I end this on a funny note?
Ooh, yes.
This was given to me because I always get sweaty by the end of our calls. So, and I'm literally like feeling sweaty right now. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad there's just some deodorant next to me for after this call.
It's a lot. I think we both sweat. And you definitely do way more of the work.
I don't know if it's because like I can't find the answer to this and I really wanted an answer, but like I feel like I'm definitely a little sweatier right now. So you guys, that is what we're going to end this call with.
Yep, we're sweaty and we'll get back to you.
Okay, Melissa, I did see you included me on that email with Charles. So if he doesn't have anything enlightening, then I'll try and think about it and we'll find an answer to whatever's going on there and make sure it gets fixed. Cool. All right. Well, look out for more information on Feature Fest. It'll go out in emails. Hannah dropped the link in the chat. And then Melissa, I'm sure she'll email you directly and Laura directly about it as well.
Don't worry, I'll be pestering everyone.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Thank you for hanging out with us. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.